What's up, guys, and welcome back. Kara here, and I'm gonna bring you another recipe today. And today we're gonna do a summertime favorite of mine, which is gonna be a blackberry mug cake. I love the good old-fashioned mug cake recipes because they're very simple. You just need your mug. We're gonna mix everything together, throw it in the microwave, nuke it, and then you have yourself a delicious guilt-free cake. And we're gonna add in some extra nutrients there via the blackberries. We're gonna add some protein to it, and it's gonna be delicious. So to get started, we're just gonna take a mixing bowl and add all our ingredients to it. The first thing we're gonna add is our dry ingredients. So I'm using the MTS All Natural Isolate and the vanilla ice cream. I prefer a vanilla type flavor for my mug cakes. I just feel like they taste better than the chocolate flavored proteins. I don't know why that is. Could just be my personal preference. But we're gonna use about 20-ish grams of the protein, or about 3/4 of a scoop. Again, you can alter this based on your protein needs, but we're gonna do 3/4 a scoop of that. And for flour, you guys can pretty much choose whatever you like for flour, but I'm gonna use the whole wheat flour because that so happens to be what I have laying around my house. So I'm gonna add three tablespoons of the wheat flour. For a sweetener today, I'm gonna use this pure via Stevia that I just happen to have laying around. So I'm gonna add in there a few packets of that, which ends up being probably close to a tablespoon of a sweetener. And to make it rise, this is critical, we are gonna add 1/4 a teaspoon of baking powder. That is gonna be all our dry ingredients. For wet ingredients, we are gonna use a little bit of egg white. This is gonna add a little bit more protein to it, but it also does help with the consistency. And I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of egg white, liquid egg white. Next, I'm gonna add some pure vanilla extract, and I'm gonna add about 1/2 tablespoon of that. That's just gonna help the flavor of it taste more like a cake and really bring out the vanilla flavors from the protein. Next, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of unsweetened cashew milk. If you don't have this laying around, not a big deal. You could add water to replace that. Now, we aren't adding much fat to this recipe, so you are gonna want something to kind of hold it together. So options for you guys are gonna be, for me, I'm gonna use a Greek yogurt. We're gonna use a tablespoon or 2 of Greek yogurt. You could replace that with applesauce. You could throw in there pumpkin. Those are good alternatives in replacement for fat and really any baking recipes. So I'm using a strawberry flavored Siggy's yogurt. I really like these yogurts. And that strawberry flavor is just gonna kind of help to add to that berry flavor that we're trying to have. Now, since I'm adding 1 tablespoon, at this point I'm gonna start and just mix it up and see what my consistency is looking like to see if we need to add any more liquid or not. You can always add more, but you can't take away. So that's actually looking like the perfect cake consistency. It smells really good too. I really prefer using the oat flour or whole wheat flour for recipes like this. Just feel like it gives you a better cake flavor. You could sub in there some coconut flour, almond flour, but again, I find this gives you the best cake type flavor. So next we're gonna add in our berries, and again, I'm gonna do a blackberry version. So I've chopped up about 1/4 a cup of fresh organic blackberries. I'm just gonna add those in now and then gently fold them into our cake. I don't wanna crush them because I kinda want those nice big chunks of blackberry in there. All right, next thing we're gonna do is just go ahead and I'm gonna spray my mug with some Pam Spray, just so the cake doesn't stick in there. Then all we got to do is go ahead and pour your cake batter ingredients into your mug. I'm gonna use a spatula as well just to get out all the excess. Make sure we don't miss out on any of those macros. All right, so at this point, our mug is filled to about there. I'm gonna throw it in the microwave and cook it for about 3 minutes. What I prefer to do with my mug cakes is to cook them for a minute and check on them. So I go ahead and I stop it after a minute and then put it in for another minute, just so you have a little bit more control over the consistency and not to overcook it. All right, I ended up cooking mine for 2 minutes because I touched the middle and I liked the way that it felt. I didn't want to overcook it, so after you've cooked it, I like to take it right out of the mug, and if you've sprayed it, you should be able to just flip it right over Oof, and it should come right out. Perfect. Now the fun part is you can kind of ice this if you want to do like a protein frosting. You could take the vanilla isolate, mix it up with a little water, add it as some frosting, or you can use your leftover yogurt to do that as a frosting. For today's purposes, I really like fat-free Ready Whip, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of fat-free Ready Whip to this, just to the top. And then I'm gonna add a couple more berries to it. That's all you gotta do, and you've got yourself a great little mug cake. You can top it with whatever you want, which is always super fun. Very easy, macro-friendly. All right, guys, that is going to conclude my blackberry mug cake. I hope you give it a try. As always, if you guys create these recipes, go ahead and tag me on Instagram. I usually repost your stuff. Hopefully that helps you out with some followers. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy this recipe, and we will see you in the next one. Make sure to get your goods at tigerfitness.com.